If you haven't looked at how Google search works lately, then I have news for you. The game has totally changed. If you're still optimizing your website like it's 2015 and you're just dropping keywords all throughout your website with hopes of being found, you're about to get leapfrogged in the Google search rankings. But if you're paying attention right now, you've got a golden window over the next 6 to 12 months to dominate page one of Google before your competitors even realize what's happening. In today's podcast, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this and what I'm talking about here. So let me paint you a picture for you. Not long ago, when somebody searched for physical therapy near me, they would see, one or two paid ads. They'd see a list of basic blue links to websites, and there would be an option to tab over to the results where clinics are at, and they can see where people are at on Google Maps. But if we fast forward to today, page one of Google is absolute chaos. You've got Google Maps listings on the top. You've got your Google business profiles with photos and reviews and directions. You've got YouTube videos showing up. You've got AI-powered boxes like people also ask, and then there's a list of other questions that people are asking that are related to the search. And then somewhere way down the page, your old school SEO posts are hoping to get clicked, those old school blue links that normally were on the top of the page. So what's changed? Google, what they did is they rolled out something called the Search Generative Experience, aka SGE, and that's something they just dropped this new documentation that tells you exactly how to win at this new game. This is something that Google does every handful of months, and usually there's usually pretty significant changes to the algorithm. But this one, I'm putting even more stock into because this is the first real big step into changing the way that they're ranking websites and just what the page one looks like and how they're leveraging their AI tools and their AI products to rank certain things on page one. And, to be honest with you, I'm talking with most people and most people have no idea that it's actually happening. So that's why I want to talk to you guys about that today. So I'm going to dive into a couple main points here that I think are going to be relevant and helpful for you guys to know. And, just to help you guys get onto page one, because like I said, I think this is a golden opportunity. If you have no organic search traffic right now and you do these things, you can get yourself onto page one. We're doing this with patch members right now, and we've seen some huge changes in just 30 days by implementing some of these strategies. So if you're interested in seeing where you're at right now and seeing if just getting an SEO audit done and seeing like if there's things that we can help with, head over to the link in the description. There's going to be a link that you can click to get a free SEO audit. Those audits are done by me. I'll go through your website, see if you're doing all of these things, and give you some feedback on how you can do them. And then if you want us to do it for you, we can obviously do that as well. But let's dive into main point number one. It is that page experience is now a ranking factor. So again, if you're not a nerd like me, then you didn't read this Google documentation that they rolled out because there's a lot of information in it, and a lot of it wasn't super relevant, but there were three main things that showed up in this documentation, and this is one of them, is that now like website experience is a ranking factor. The documentation said even the best content can be disappointing if people land on a page that's cluttered, outdated, and hard to navigate. So what that translates to is if your website looks like it was built in 1999 by somebody's cousin named Todd, then you're toast. Like your website's not going to rank. And I see a lot of websites that look like they're built by a friend's cousin's cousin because they've built websites in the past. So let me give you two examples of what Google means when they say a great page experience. The first is going to be a clean, fast mobile design. You should be able to open the site on your phone and it actually loads under 3 seconds. The fonts are super easy to read, the images load fast, and there's no weird pop-ups or blinking banners. It's just a clean, beautiful, and intentional design. So that your text isn't overlapping, your buttons, you shouldn't have to like scroll on a page to click a button to move certain elements around. It should just be really clean, really fast, and optimized for mobile. The other example would be, making sure that it's easy to navigate and you're not having these overlapping elements. Like, what's more frustrating than when you go to try to click like a book now button and it's covered up by a map or a pop-up that you can't hit the X on. Maybe you scroll down and the text is overlapping with images. Like Good sites avoid these things. They make it really easy. Everything's really clickable and it's easy to navigate. Everything is where it should be, and it's dead simple to find out what you're looking for in 1 to 2 clicks. So again, if you go to your website and it's not really easy to figure out what that next step is or get to that next step without doing 1 or 2 clicks. 1 or 2 clicks is what you want. You don't want to have to do any more clicks than that, wherever of where you're at on your website. This is why we've started rebuilding clinic websites from the ground up with some of our patch members. It's just a lot easier than to try to reorganize a website that you've already built and trying to update all of these things. A lot of the times it's easier to just kind of start from scratch. So that's, main point number one is going to be making sure make sure that your page experience is really, really good. Your website experience is really, really good. User design beforehand, Google didn't care about this because all Google was doing was reading everything in the back end, all of your coding and the technical SEO of your website. Google's getting really smart though, and the AI is getting smarter every single day. So now it can act like a human. It can go to your website and it can see how good of an experience is this. And if it's a good experience, it's going to rank you on page 1. It's going to rank you on the top of Google Maps. If it's a bad experience and it's clunky and you can't really read anything, there's walls of text and you got to do a lot of scrolling, then you're going to get deranked. Main point number 2 is, technical SEO is still a non-negotiable. So next up in the documentation, again, this is going to be a nerdy one as well, but it's super important. The guidelines stated that Google must ensure that it can access your content. So what that really is saying is that if Google can't find it, if it can't crawl it and index it, then it's not going to show it. Think of your website as a restaurant, okay? And let's say that your food is incredible. You've got the best steak in town. But if there's no sign out front, the windows are blacked out and the door is locked 3 days a week, then guess what? No one's going to go there. No one's going to eat there. It's not because the food sucks, but it's because nobody knows it exists. And that's what's happening to a lot of clinics' websites right now. They've only got maybe one service page, but it's buried under 6 clicks. That service page hasn't been crawled by Google ever. There's no clear URL structure or site mapping. There's broken links. There's missing metadata. There's no schema markups. And there hasn't been a new page added since the website was actually built. So what Google does, and this is important to know, is that Google bots will come to your website and it'll crawl your website. Basically what this is doing is just, go into your website. It's reading your site map, which is just like a trail map of your website. And it's seeing what type of pages you have on there and how they all interlink. This is like a food critic dropping by unannounced, basically, is, what Google's doing every so often. And if they can't access your or understand your content, then they're not going to rank it. You're just not even going to show up on Google at all. They're just going to leave and, your site is basically invisible. So you need to make sure that you have really solid technical SEO so that when Google does go and crawl your website, it's seeing the new pages that you're adding. It's seeing the local services pages that you're adding. It's reading the coding in the back end. And what that good technical SEO will look like are going to be service pages that are clearly labeled. So the slugs of all of these pages should have, bostonphysicaltherapy.com/dry needling or bostonphysicaltherapy.com/Boston Physical Therapy, making sure that those slugs are updated. And I'll see it all the time of people will just duplicate a page and then it'll say bostonphysicaltherapy.com/contact-1 because it's just the next page. So they're not actually updating the slugs, which is just criminal. You cannot be doing that. The second thing is you need to make sure you're consistently adding new content. So this is going to be blogs. It's going to be location pages. It's going to be services pages. This shows that Google that you're alive and that you're actually a legit business and you're still in business, which is really, really important because if you haven't added a page to your website since you have started your website or started your business, Google doesn't know if you're still a business that's actually running. And we need to make sure that Google knows that we are a business that is still in business. And the last part of all the technical SEO side of things is making sure that everything is indexed. So Google can actually rank your pages that you actually worked on. So if you build these pages, but if you're not indexing them and Google's not crawling them, then Google doesn't know that you built this new page. So you need to make sure that you're doing that. So you might be saying, Jeremy, what the fuck are you talking about? And I get it. You're a clinician and you have a clinic to run. You really shouldn't be worrying about this. That's why I suggest most clinic owners just outsource this. So why, at Patch, we have most of the people that are working with us that are doing our SEO services as well. If you're interested, again, in getting an SEO audit, definitely head to the link in the description. Happy to do that for you and just show you where you're set up with all these things. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 is you need more than just text. Okay. And let me explain what that actually means. This one kind of blew my mind a little bit when I saw it. But what Google said in its documentation is that you need to go beyond text for multimodal success. Really, what this is saying is that you need more than just words on your website to rank. You need images for your blog posts. You need to embed YouTube videos on your pages. You need to keep your Google business profile updated. You need to be posting on your YouTube channel consistently. And for the love of God, like, you need to have a YouTube channel. The amount of SEO audits that I've done where people don't even have a YouTube channel, it's crazy. So you guys know Google owns YouTube. So the more you post on YouTube and the more SEO optimized your YouTube channel is, the better chance you have of ranking on page 1 of Google. These things play hand in hand. And what multimodal means, right, is that you're posting on all of these different platforms here. So you need to have, again, images on your website. You need to have videos on YouTube. You need to have your Google business profile updated, because guess what? Like, the way that page 1 has changed and the way search has changed. If you search for back pain physical therapy, right now you're going to see YouTube videos on the first page. That was not something that was happening before. But again, it's because Google owns YouTube and they're playing favorites and they want you using their platform. And if you're not, then you're going to lose that visibility wars. Again, ask yourself, like, do you have a YouTube channel? When was the last time you added any video content to that website? If you search for physical therapy or back pain therapy or anything along those lines, and you don't have a video that's going to correspond to something like that, then you're going to be losing that visibility war, and the odds of you showing up on page 1 are going to go down. So, getting into the third point, you need more than just text on your website. You need videos. You need to be posting on YouTube. You need to be posting on LinkedIn, Instagram, Google Business, all of the things. That is what the AI crawlers are now doing. Is it's not just looking at your website, it's looking at everything along all the platforms. So really important to be posting everywhere. So to wrap all this up, like, I'm not saying this to freak you out. I actually think that this is a really big opportunity. Change is scary for sure. And we want to just continue doing things that we knew worked in the past and just continue doing the old school thought of SEO. The reason I'm saying all this stuff, because I think there's a massive opportunity right now. And I think most clinic owners are asleep on. And I think the good news is, like, most of your competitors are going to be asleep on this stuff as well. The big, PT clinic chains are going to be slow to adopt these things. And I think, smaller clinics, cash-based clinics, you have anywhere from 1 to 7 employees. You have the ability to be really, really agile. Patch, we have totally changed the way that we roll out our SEO offering. And, the rules are changing in real time and it's going to continue to happen. But luckily for us, like, Google tells us how to win this game. But, like with any sort of, new changes, it's really the people that are the first to act on these things. So if you want help with this, here's what I recommend. Head on over to our website, thepatchsystem.com. Grab a demo with us. This is a one-on-one call. We can go through your SEO. We can run that SEO audit. We can talk about it real time. We can talk about your marketing, what you're doing with all this stuff, and what you can do to set yourself up, not only to take advantage of the new age of search, but also to make sure that you're doing all of the new marketing tactics and you're growing your clinic at a time where things are changing really, really quickly. So head on over to our website. Definitely grab that demo call. Head on over to the link in the description as well if you want that SEO audit. And make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast if you thought this was helpful. And I'll talk to you guys soon.